Hi everyone. Welcome back to another episode of Fast English. Today, we're diving into two hotly debated topics. At first, we're going to discuss one of the most controversial topics in the creative world right now, the use of generative AI in creative industries. From AI-generated art and music to writing, this technology is changing the world. But is it for better or worse? I'm your host, Charlotte, and I'm so excited to discuss this important topic. So, let's jump right in. What do you think, Liam? Do you see AI as a threat to creativity, or do you believe it offers new opportunities?
I'm definitely concerned about generative AI in creative fields.
Could you explain why you think this technology could be harmful?
Certainly. My main concern is that AI-generated content could devalue human creativity. Art, music, and writing have always been deeply personal and human expressions. When we start relying on algorithms to produce these works, we risk losing the unique perspectives and emotional depth that only humans can bring. Additionally, there's the issue of job displacement. As AI becomes more sophisticated, we could see significant job losses in artistic fields, which are already challenging industries to make a living in. Lastly, the legal and ethical questions around intellectual property: who owns an AI-generated piece of art? The programmer? The AI itself? These are complex issues that we're only beginning to face.
Those are definitely valid concerns. I completely understand what you mean, but I see AI as a powerful tool that can actually increase human creativity, not replace it. AI can generate ideas, suggest new compositions, or even assist in overcoming creative problems. Moreover, AI can lead to new forms of collaboration between humans and machines, creating art that neither could have produced alone.
It's a good point about AI as a tool, but my worry is that we could become too reliant on it. There's a risk that we might lose the skills and techniques that have been gained over centuries. For instance, if AI writes a novel or composes a symphony in minutes, there'll be no incentive for a young artist to spend years to become a master.
Hey Liam. Here's a new vocabulary: incentive. Can you explain the meaning of incentive for our listeners?
Sure, Charlotte. Incentive is something that motivates or encourages someone to do something.
Can you give us some examples?
For example, you can say, the company is offering a special low price as an added incentive for new customers. Or, winning an Olympic medal is a big incentive for runners.
Nice examples, Liam. Let's continue our conversation. I think we discussed different aspects of using AI in creative industries, but we should keep in mind that every new technology has brought similar concerns. When photography was invented, people feared it would be the death of painting. But instead, it led to new artistic movements like Impressionism. I believe we're seeing a similar moment with AI.
It's clear that AI in creative industries is a complex issue with no easy answer.
Thanks, Liam, for sharing your thoughts. And to our listeners, what do you think? Is AI a threat or an opportunity for the future of creativity? Let us know your opinions on this issue. Now, Liam. Let's move on to the second topic of today's podcast that's a huge part of our lives: social media. Is it a friend or an enemy?
Many of us spend a lot of time scrolling through Instagram, Twitter, or TikTok, don't we? Is all that screen time doing us more harm than good?
This is such an important topic and I'm excited to dive into this conversation. Stay with us and share your thoughts in comments. Social media has become such a huge part of how we connect, share, and even shape our identities. It's incredible how much it's changed our world. I love that I can stay in touch with friends, discover new interests, and learn about what's happening around the globe, all from my phone.
Absolutely, there are definitely some amazing aspects to it. But at the same time, I've got to admit, social media can be a bit of a double-edged sword. While it connects us, it can also lead to things like anxiety, misinformation, and even addiction. I think it's important to talk about both sides.
For sure. Let's start with the positive side, though. For me, one of the biggest benefits is the sense of community it can create. Whether it's connecting with old friends or finding new ones through shared interests, social media has a way of bringing people together in ways that weren't possible before. I mean, the way people can rally around causes or movements through social media is pretty powerful.
Hey Charlotte. We've got a new vocabulary here, rally around. What does that mean?
Rally around is an idiom that means to join together to support someone or something during a difficult time. For example, we rallied around our neighbors when their house burned down.
Can you give our listeners more examples, Charlotte?
Sure. Here are some other examples of rally around in a sentence. When the town clinic lost its funding, the community rallied around it. Neighbors rallied around and changed the local services. The whole family rallied around when Dad had an accident.
Thanks, Charlotte. Now let's keep the conversation going about social media.
Let's not forget about the educational aspect. I've learned so much through social media, whether it's through following experts in different fields, participating in discussions, or even just watching educational content. It's like having access to a world of knowledge at your fingertips.
That's a good point. But here's where the other side of the coin comes in. While there's a lot of good information out there, there's also a ton of misinformation. It's so easy for fake news to spread like wildfire on social media, and not everyone takes the time to fact-check what they're seeing.
True, and that's definitely one of the biggest challenges. But I think with some critical thinking and a healthy doubt, we can solve it.
Yeah, it's something we have to be really mindful of. Another thing that worries me is the way social media can affect our mental health. The constant pressure to present a perfect life, the endless comparisons. It's not surprising that studies are linking social media use with higher rates of anxiety and depression.
You're right, that's a serious concern. It's so easy to get caught up in the highlight reels of other people's lives and feel like you're not good enough. That's why I think it's important to be aware of how social media affects us personally and take breaks when we need to.
Definitely. I think we also need to be conscious of the amount of time we spend on these platforms. It's easy to lose hours just scrolling without realizing it. And while that can be fun sometimes, it's important to make sure it's not taking away from real-life connections and activities.
Balance is key. Social media should enhance our lives, not take over them. And I think that's something we all have to figure out for ourselves, how to use these platforms in a way that feels healthy and positive.
Exactly. So, to sum up, while social media has its downsides, like misinformation and potential mental health impacts, it also has the power to connect us, educate us, and give us a platform to share our voices. The key is to use it mindfully and maintain a balance.
Well said, Liam. Thanks to everyone for tuning in today. We hope this conversation was useful and could increase your knowledge of English language.
Drop a comment and let us know your thoughts on social media. What do you love or hate about it?
And if you enjoyed this episode, don't forget to subscribe. Take care and stay balanced.